What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos. So welcome to a new episode, a new special episode. Welcome to the 1 year anniversary of Take It to the Table. Yes. We made it through the year. We have a jam-packed episode. We are going to be talking about the Royal Rumble, as you know, it's been and gone. Also, when we first started Take It to the Table, we also spoke about what we would like to see at WrestleMania, our WrestleMania dream card. So you know what, we're going to run that back again and do it for this episode. What matches we would like to see, or what matches we think we're going to see at this year's WrestleMania. Okay? All right. Okay. But of course, before I start, let me introduce the regular guest here. To my left is none other than Mr. Rans. Welcome back to the show. To my right is none other than Rides. Welcome, Rides.
Hey, happy 1 year.
Mr. Rams, Rise it. Yeah.
Hey, listen, look, we actually have a table.
We actually have a table.
Cool.
I know.
To the table.
Upgrade.
And also, let me just say that, 1 year I got a little sign just for the occasion.
Okay.
Oh, we got.
There we go.
Rotten.
Happy birthday, Take It to the Table.
Happy birthday. Yes. As you can see, we're going to be feasting in this episode. Boy, we got all the kind of products here.
You know what?
I love the food.
Right
yeah, definitely. Yeah, hopefully you can still see him. But,
the feature right here. You can see this.
Yes. But before we get started, we can't really discuss about Sunday without actually bringing up the untimely passing of an NBA legend. And that is being Kobe Bryant. As we all know, it's been the news has gone global of his untimely passing. That he was in a horrible helicopter crash, and it was just completely unexpected.
Right.
It's, not only just his passing, but obviously his beautiful daughter, as well as everyone else that was on the helicopter. So yeah, huge condolences to the family, and rest in peace, the NBA legend, Kobe Bryant.
Hey.
Black Mamba. But yeah, without further ado, let's take it to the table. Okay, so you know what? We ain't gonna be mincing around with the Royal Rumble. I want to talk about the main event, which was obviously the men's Rumble. I was just
center stage right now.
Right now, you for obvious reasons, it has to take center stage. But I take it you guys have seen the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So witnessed it, experienced it.
Good. What were your thoughts of the men's Rumble?
Okay, so
initial thoughts.
Initially, I was worn out by this point because obviously it's a long pay-per-view. But then when Lesnar started first, obviously I know that was the whole thing, that he was setting the goal that he was going to win from the number one spot. And then who was it who came out number two?
Elias,
yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, so when they gave Elias the mic time, I figured kind of like what they did with the Iconics at Evolution, because they had the mic time, they were the first ones eliminated, so it was going to be a quick elimination. Mm-hmm. So I figured that, because Elias is having mic time, he wasn't going to be long in the ring, which happened as well. He got eliminated straight away. But that kind of continued for the first 12 people or something like that?
First half.
Right,
pretty much.
The whole first half of the Rumble was just the person would come in and Brock would eliminate them straight away, which isn't bad.
That's what I was about to say. Apparently, that's been a very divisive. Everyone's been very it was a polarizing type of thing for them to do. So
it's like hit or miss. It's like if that, because when it happened with CM Punk back in 2009.
When he had the Nexus.
No, when CM Punk he came out.
He was with Nexus at the time.
He was with Nexus. He still had. It was the Straight Edge Society. That's that time.
Yes, you're right. And he came in and he had the mic.
Yeah, and he was.
That one.
And then I think Zack Ryder came out, Beth Phoenix came out. And he eliminated them all.
I've never actually watched that Rumble in full, but I've seen Punk's bit.
Yeah.
But he what's it called? So when it happened with him, it was because it was just a short moment of the Rumble. It was still pretty much a Rumble match. It was just a segment of the Rumble, but because this was a whole chunk of the Rumble, so 12 people kind of came and went while Lesnar was still there. It was a bit like, huh. But then I think for me, it sparked my interest to be like, oh, well, who is going to be the one that eliminates him? You know? And I'm not going to lie, I did kind of think they were going to give that spot to Kofi Kingston, I'm not going to lie. Because when he came out and he was just like...
He got a huge part. Yeah.
And then he kind of just was like going for it and stuff like that. And I figured that because Kofi was still there, whilst the next person came out, was it Rey Mysterio?
Yes.
Yeah, so because it was kind of like, okay then, so at this point, it's potential that these are the two guys that Lesnar has actually feuded with since he was kind of back in the picture kind of thing. So it was like, okay then, so maybe one of those two are going to be the ones that eliminate him, although I don't want to really see... Okay, Kofi, Brock, maybe, but I don't want to see Brock, Rey Mysterio again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that, you know, it went the way it went, in kind of things, in the Rumble match itself, I guess... do you know what? I actually don't have any bad things to say about the men's Rumble.
That's a big thing to say.
Right,
Usually, like there's always big cluster Fs on when it comes to the Rumble. This one was had a lot to unpack. Usually, you know, usually the big moments usually happen when there's just like a random legend that shows up. But most of the big moments usually mainly happen between people of the current roster,
right?
And it was logical, just logical moments. There was no, you know, comedic moments. There wasn't, you know, they kind of saved that for the Women's Rumble, which we will get into. Trust me. But yeah, it was like I've never been this excited for a Rumble, in a long time. I must say.
Or for the aftermath.
Just the beginning, the middle, for me, to be honest, when it came to Lesnar, I honestly didn't think he was going to be in there that long, and I thought that the person that was going to eliminate him was just like, you know, either a celebrity or I thought it was either going to be like Tyson Fury or Cain Velasquez.
I did think that. I did.
Yeah, because there was rumors, because I think Cain said he said he was going to enter it or something.
Right. Yeah.
But they actually did not do that. They did not, you know, make the Rumble as a novelty. They actually gave it to someone that was, or gave the certain spots to people that was quite deserving of it. But yeah, what about your thoughts, Rides? What did you think of the Rumble itself?
On an overall opinion, I mean, yeah, it was good. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. Admittedly, I wasn't too much of a fan of the first half just kind of being the Lesnar show. I get why it was done, and I get the positives from it because certain stars were made from doing that. Obviously the eventual winner and other people that had their moments, such as Keith Lee, for example. You know, Twitter was
big boy.
Twitter was definitely talking about how Brock made people. I don't necessarily agree with that statement because I think superstars make themselves to an extent, but I get what the analogy is, so to say, if analogy is the right word. But the reason why I didn't like it is because we had people like Shinsuke, Cesaro and stuff.
Especially Cesaro, that pissed me off.
Cesaro's was bad. That was terrible. That was a what do you call it? A swerve on the audience. 100%. Right. It was done on purpose because it knew it would get that reaction. I get it. Cesaro's a heel, blah blah. But it's just, point is, whether they are people that you want to be pushed, whether they're nobodies, that was about 13 to 15 people who were just filler. And including people like Morrison, who's just come back.
Morrison, that was absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Man just come back, you know. And
it just made them. It just made them all look like jobbers. And I guess everybody is a jobber compared to Lesnar, but I've already not liked that idea anyway from the very beginning because, you know, Lesnar's a beast and I get it from UFC and stuff, but realistically, when you look at history, he's not any more special than anyone else. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't even been in the industry as long as some of these legends and won as many titles, but we treat him like he's untouchable. And I felt like because of that, it was almost like we got a shorter Rumble, technically. The Rumble didn't start until like number 14, 15.
Yes.
When Kofi came out, it was a very good moment. Yes, there was that unrealistic hope of Kofi getting his retribution and this is cool, but they just did what we thought was going to happen. It was a really cool moment when he teamed up with Big E and Ray. But then Lesnar still did his thing.
That was a nice counter though.
It was a good counter. There were some cool moments, funny moments, like Shelton Benjamin.
Yes.
Budging up with Lesnar. That was cool.
You know, honestly, I actually thought it was going to be like the other swerve. So I thought they were going to do that thing where it was going to be that, so we understand their history and stuff, but then I thought it was going to be that Shelton was going to attempt to eliminate Brock. And that was
Yeah.
And make Lesnar then eliminate Shelton. I thought that was the path they were going to go, but to just have Brock be the one that obviously turned and then throw him over.
Which was surprising and funny. There was a tiny part of me that thought they might actually be a cohesive unit for a little bit. It was cool, but I mean, what I definitely want to talk about is everything after that point, or from the point where, like, you know, after Kofi and Biggie and Ray, and then we had Drew McIntyre enter the Rumble, things started to really pick up.
Yeah.
What number was McIntyre?
16.
So we had Ricochet was in the ring at the time. Kofi, Biggie, and Ray had already been eliminated by this point.
Right.
And obviously, a few weeks ago, Brock had low-blowed Ricochet.
That was actually the week before.
Yeah. So, you know, that was festering. And then that they did that thing where you get like Brock staring down Drew. They did it earlier in the match with Braun Strowman, and it amounted to nothing. Yeah. But they did it with Drew, and it was a big moment. People were really popping for it, like they wanted to see it. And it would have been cool to have that moment, but Ricochet hitting that sweet low blow was
over the ropes, right?
the Claymore. Like it was done so well. And it was a good moment for Drew. It was whether he went on to win or not, that would have solidified him.
That made him.
Yeah, you know,
that was his big Royal Rumble moment.
That was his Maven moment, apart from minus the whole getting his head smashed through the popcorn and stuff. But
and then
but credit to Ricochet, man. That moment doesn't happen without Ricochet.
No, exactly.
And people are acting like it's.
And the fact that after
you're gonna say what I said at the beginning of Raw. Like that vexed me, man.
They did not show what Ricochet did to Brock Lesnar. It just cut all the way.
As if to say Drew did it by himself.
Exactly. Like, exactly.
Nah.
So
big up Ricochet, man.
Big up Ricochet. He's probably gonna get murdered eventually somehow, you know. But yeah, huge props to him. And
especially because there was rumors of Ricochet and Lesnar. There was like, you know, whether it's rumors or fan fiction.
Now that I've got McIntyre versus Lesnar, Ricochet and Lesnar doesn't even sound appealing to me.
Fair enough.
Of course.
I've always kind of said that, like, if they want to push McIntyre to be like, I guess, that guy that we all know he should be, he just kind of needed something for that. But then Lesnar, Ricochet is just kind of what Lesnar's always doing.
Yes,
you know what
I agree.
It's like Lesnar Rollins, Lesnar Kofi, Lesnar Rey Mysterio. He's always got the smaller guy.
Yeah.
Whereas at least
now he's got a challenge.
Yeah,
exactly.
Someone who's not necessarily Roman Reigns big or Braun Strowman big, but someone who is still big enough to put up a fight.
And athletic as well at the same time.
But Drew is a face though. Do we like that?
He's not. I don't think he's a face.
He definitely acts like it though.
I think he's.
I mean, the next night on Raw, he was facing it up, man. Like, you know.
I think they put him in that Becky Lynch lane, so he's a bit of both.
And what happened to Becky Lynch? Like a day later, she's the hottest baby face.
Even so, when you listen to her promos or anything like that, Becky Lynch is still very much that she's just in a lane.
She's an anti-hero type of thing.
Yeah, and same as like Charlotte, who's not really a face or a heel. She's just kind of in the middle.
Okay.
I still get heel vibes from Charlotte, man.
Hell yeah.
I mean, she's just conceited because she's the queen. At the end of the day, if they need her to be like, so like, for example, when she was feuding with Bayley, we were meant to side with Charlotte. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
But it's like,
I get you.
But Charlotte's still the queen. She's still.
They're very adaptable.
Yeah. So okay. They said that with Drew McIntyre, the vibe I got from him on the next night on Raw was very much that he's just now in that he's going to Mania, but he's going to do whatever is. Like,
but by Mania, he's going to have to. Well, one of them is going to have to be a clear babyface and heel. There's not going to be a heel versus heel match or even a heel versus tweener match. Not for Mania.
Well, Lesnar's kind of a heel by proxy. Like he's just always
the bad guy.
Even since his kind of return, I don't actually think there's been a moment where he's been.
There was.
Well, when he returned, because everyone hated Cena.
No, there was a moment where he was.
It wasn't official.
There was a moment when he was kind of like the face because a heel was beating him down and left him laying in the ring. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Kane or Braun.
Maybe Strowman. Yeah, Strowman was definitely a heel. That's when he had that was it before or after the Rampage with Reigns? So yeah, he was definitely a heel.
Someone was a heel, left Lesnar lying, and we were supposed to feel for Lesnar. I remember that.
Yes, that was Strowman. I remember that. But yeah, like I said, that the second half that's when it definitely picked up. But of course, You think you know him?
Yes, this is what I wanted to get to. Probably the best moment of the night, or at least of that Rumble. That was beautiful, man.
It was absolutely. You could see the emotion on Edge's face.
The audience.
The audience.
But listen, let me say the one critique. Just get out of the way, and we'll talk on the positive. Whoever's controlling the camera shots, bro, they did that was the same dude that messed up AJ Styles' debut.
Yes,
like
Roman Reigns' face.
Missed that sweet first spear, and it was on Ziggler, so you know it's gonna be an epic spear. And they just cut to some dead. There wasn't even anything. Some dead person in the audience, not even cheering. And it's just like, come on. That vexed me, man. But if you take that out of the equation, everything was handled perfect. Edge is in phenomenal shape. Looks good. Still has it. He's been training on the slide because he hasn't missed a beat. 9 years. Yeah. You should not be able to do what you do so fluently. But he did it like he was wrestling yesterday. He was amazing. He put people over. He put himself over. He held it on his own. And I'm glad they didn't make him win, because as great as it was for him to come back, he is 41. It doesn't have to be the Edge show.
But the thing is, I'm glad that they didn't treat him like a legend either, because when it comes when these random legends like Booker T or Kevin Nash or something, when they do these random cameos, they don't last that long. Yeah. So the fact that they actually took him seriously and he was to the final four, that's how you know that
Well, you thought he might actually win. Yeah, it's believable.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna win, but the fact that they took him seriously and he did a lot of damage to a lot of people. And like you said, he was in shape. The entrance, I didn't really. I remember I went on social media blackout when the Royal Rumble happened. I had work the next day. I tried so hard. I uninstalled Insta, uninstalled YouTube, all that. Well, I disabled YouTube, but it still came up with that little notification. And from the side eye, and look, I saw someone with long hair, but I didn't properly see with the thumbnail. Hey. So when I saw something with long hair, I quickly swiped it. But obviously, in the back of my head was just like, "Nigga, that's Edge."
No, listen. In hindsight, I know I saw Edge as well, because I was doing a thing on the network where I'd watched it up to a certain point the night before, so I went to carry on. You scroll through, and I scrolled a bit too far. Yeah. And I saw for a split second, I saw someone in the ring with dark purpley pants, and I was like. I didn't let my mind even wonder. Yeah. But I now looking back that was Edge.
That was Edge. When I actually still saw him, even now every time I watch it,
still an amazing moment,
I get goosebumps every single. I was just so happy for him. I can't wait to see the documentary, because they're gonna do
24 or 3. Well, not 365, but
a WWE 24. I can't wait to see that documentary.
And also the flipping. I mean, we don't want to go too far ahead just yet, but the fallout, where Edge is going next, with Raw, we need to address that.
Hell yeah,
we need to address that. Was what I said, I won't say it yet, but that was one of the things where I knew what was happening because of a spoiler, and it was still epic.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know you got something good. Epic. That's what I'm saying. I didn't get your thoughts on what do you think about his return?
So I was not gonna lie, with the men's Rumble. Because of, like I said, how far in the show it was, by that point it was that thing where I'm semi-burnt out, but I was doing other things. So it was on in the background, and then up until, what number was Edge?
21.
Right, so then...
I'll never forget that number.
So up until you said for 14, or was
McIntyre was 16.
16. So up until about that sort of point, then the Rumble was going in a direction, so I was kind of doing other things, the Rumble was on. And then I remember... just at that point, I had kind of sat down and I was like, okay, let me try to get back into this and whatnot. And then the next person's going to come out, and I was like, okay. And then it's the klaxon goes off and it's like, you think you know me? I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh.
That up there, that is definitely up there when you hear Steve Austin, glass break. Right. Yeah. That is up there now.
Glass break, if you smell, all of that.
All of those, that's up there now, man. He's got one of the most epic theme songs ever, man. But
he could never change his song. Right.
No.
Right. And it was just it was just kind of, although I had... what's it called? There were not even spoilers. It was things of a lot of the wrestling community on social media were Edge is cleared, so he could be there.
Yeah, there was rumors. Yeah,
and there was that thing where they were saying, well, he was spotted in Houston on Rumble weekend.
He posted a picture of his gear.
Yeah, he was just staring at it.
So the same as what's it called? You had all these other wrestlers or people who had been spotted in Houston. So it was okay. So who's going to turn up? Who's going to be there? And then for it, because we had gotten so far and all of the ones that were expected for the women's one didn't turn up, and then we get to the men's one, and then so far down the line, you just kind of forget who still needs to come out and what sorts of stuff. But then to hear Edge's music, it was just like, just caught me off guard. And I was just like, okay, now I'm invested. Now I'm just gonna start watching. You know, props to Ziggler for selling a spear that we didn't see.
They've put an alternative version.
Yes, they had to.
On YouTube.
What's the
now.
unseen footage? Man, you fucked up on the cameras. But yeah.
Maybe they did that on purpose to get YouTube views. I wouldn't even put it past them.
Maybe so.
You know?
But yeah, like I said, I was watching it while I was at work today, and I had this big grin on my face. I was like, I thought nothing could beat when I saw the Hardys come out, make their crazy return at WrestleMania.
Epic in its own right.
That was epic as well in its own right. But this. Oi!
It was a moment, like,
Listen, look, we've had the Dudleys come back, we've had the Hardys, Edges back. Christian,
that's what I'm saying.
We're just waiting for you.
Christian
still needs that IC title shot that he earned, man. He never got that title match, so
exactly.
Exactly.
But right now, looking at the scape of WWE, we've got Edge, you've got
old school Daniel Bryan.
Old school Daniel Bryan, yes.
We got old.
And do you know what? Like, another thing, we've also got MVP back.
Flipping hell, man. Like that.
In the Rumble too. And
yo.
1, 2.
Bittersweet because they buoyed him off in the Rumble. Buoyed him off. Right. But it's good that he's back. I'm happy he's back because
it's like we stepped into like a time warp.
Yeah.
Like everyone who's there in like 2009 and stuff, they're all back in. So
pretty much.
Mysterio, MVP. Edge, John Morrison, like
John Morrison,
John Morrison, and going back when Edge slightly teamed up with Randy
Orton. That was a very good moment, man.
That was nice. That was nice. A little double RKO.
Rated RKO was short-lived, but it was.
Weren't they like a more of a storyline team? Because they were just kind of feuding with DX at the time, right?
Solid team though. I mean, yeah. I mean, after that feud, they disbanded essentially.
Much, yeah.
They weren't.
Injury.
Yeah, but they won the titles. They actually had a tag team entrance. They merged their two themes together and stuff.
Yeah.
So
they were good.
They were solid. I remember when they mocked DX. That was funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That was good. And yeah, of course, it was everyone when Roman Reigns came out. Everyone was fearing the worst because obviously he was pretty much the top favorite to win. But
there's no reason to boo Roman Reigns anymore. There's no reason to boo him. There's no reason to roll eyes. Like he's done nothing. For almost 2 years he's been out of the main event picture on purpose.
No, it's a thing of like okay, so it's not even that you dislike him because of how he was or anything like that. It's just the thing of, I guess it's just still just the slight kind of, it's Roman Reigns. He's still super Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? I don't dislike him.
Something about you. I just don't like you.
So, you guys drivers or what? Sorry, I realize this is rude, but I really don't like your face.
No, I get that a lot.
Not one
Just
bit.
get my damn car.
It's not even that I dislike him or anything like that. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I went to the SmackDown tapings last year, I was still popping for Roman Reigns. Like, I don't dislike him. I don't. But it's just still that thing of, when you put him in like a big match atmosphere, you kind of just think, ugh, like, you know.
So when is it gonna get to that point where that's accepted and cool?
I don't know. It's like with Cena, it got to the point where, you know, now Cena will get a pop and whatnot because Cena's kind of.
He will still get booed. He still gets booed.
Yeah,
but he hits the alumni kind of thing now. With Roman Reigns, he's still there, so it's kind of just like a.
Like 9 times that, more than likely now, even though he didn't win the Rumble, it's most likely that he's going to be facing the Fiend at Mania, and we all know what's going to happen. He's pretty much going to be the savior of, like, he's the one that's going to probably beat the Fiend, the only one that's going to beat the Fiend.
But then see, I really feel like as though, because the WWE are onto something with the Fiend, and the funny thing is that I think that okay, we'll get to that later. Okay, no, hold that thought. Just hold that thought. No, I was gonna have to go into something else completely different, so just hold that thought.
All right.
I will say that if there was any critiques about the Rumble, do you remember a couple years ago where the Authority was in the Rumble and it was Kane and Big Show and they were
eliminating everyone else?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I kind of feel like we had to repeat that with Seth and his friends.
But slightly.
Yeah, maybe not as long and maybe not any substantial people getting it. Well, actually, no. Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens, who was one of my picks, they got eliminated at their hands. Aleister Black, you know.
Yeah,
so, yeah, it wasn't cool. It wasn't... I get it. it works for story. It creates that heel nature. It does it perfectly. But it's just after having Lesnar take up half the Rumble, and then you want to do that, and then it amounts to nothing because they all just run off, and then Seth gets eliminated anyway. It's just
It wasn't that they ran off. It was that
they were fighting. Yeah, it was just an excuse to get them out of the way, isn't it? You know. Side note: the arena looked sweet.
Yes,
like,
it's the same arena as last.
I like the fact that they kept that.
It's the same baseball arena, but it's a different arena.
But the ramp, the setup of the ramp was similar.
No, because the ramp last time it was still very.
Oh, it was straight, wasn't it?
No, the last year you turned and then then you got into the ring. Like
This year you turned, it was diagonal.
No, this year it went straight to the ring. So you came.
No, it was a slight turn, but it wasn't deep.
It wasn't straight to the ring like how Raw and SmackDown is. It was straight to the corner.
So we use the box as the ring, for example.
Yeah.
The ramp come like that.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Last year they had it so that the ramp turned so you come that side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you came out and then you turned to go to the ring. Whereas this year it just went straight to the ring.
I liked it. I really liked it.
It was even though people for some reason I saw it online, people not really liking the baseball arenas, but I loved them.
I think it for the Rumble. I think that the Rumble is one of those events that you don't really need a flashy arena or anything like that. You can just strip it back and just have something that has numbers and a screen for people to see, and the Rumble will do well for that.
Kind of reminded me of do you know the old SmackDown 2?
Yes.
There was an alternative arena where you could they
had from the side.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But and also again shout out to Edge to being the only one that had pyro the whole damn event. So
did no one have it?
No one had pyro.
Really?
No one did. Though, but then
no one did.
I think Becky Lynch had smoked, didn't she?
Yeah, Becky had the smoke. I saw that match.
Even though I didn't really see it. But anyway,
Lesnar didn't even have it. I remember it was awkward because he did that. Oh yeah, he did that thing, and he
didn't have it. Styles didn't have it. No one had it.
For the Rumble, normally, Reigns didn't have it in his match. You mean, or he didn't have it in the Rumble?
He might have had it.
They didn't have his match. He didn't have his match either.
Oh, okay.
No,
because I'm thinking that because with a lot of people,
I know there was this run.
They had the graphic in it.
Yeah. They had the graphic, but just no pyro. But only person that had pyro. Well, I wouldn't call it pyro, but Becky Lynch and obviously
Edge deserved it though.
Edge needed it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for him. But anyway, we digress. But also, and of course, the winner of the Rumble was of course Drew McIntyre,
which was a panic moment for me because he came down to him and Reigns.
And he took a lot of finishers. Drew McIntyre he's the one that got a double RKO. He got Superman punched. He got a lot of damage to him. So I was fearing the worst, especially when it was as him and Roman Reigns.
Right, and so like you were saying earlier, when you were like, when do you think, or what? There's no reason to boo Roman Reigns. This isn't a reason to boo Roman Reigns. Why is he once again in the final two?
Yeah.
Against Roman Reigns, and now he's in the final two.
Yeah.
And last year he wasn't, was he? It was the year before. It was with him and Shinsuke. He was the final two.
And then 19.
Yeah, that was the year. That was 16 or 17.
17, yeah.
But last year was Seth and someone else.
Seth and Strowman. Yeah.
I don't know was Roman even in that Rumble? I don't remember. No,
probably not.
It was ill. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it. It's just, and I 100% like. Do you know what? If it was Roman and Drew down to the last two, which is what it was, and Roman won, we know what the reaction would have been. But if it was Roman and Baron Corbin or King Corbin,
which I would have been upset about because I don't want either one of them to go to Mania, in honesty.
Oh, God. If Corbin won, there would have been a freaking riot.
But what I mean is if Roman eliminated Corbin, it's the same person, but it wouldn't have got the same reaction. People would have cheered that. Because no one boos when Roman wins against people that they hate. Like, every time... Like, when Roman beat Drew last year at WrestleMania, Roman wasn't getting booed. When Roman beat Corbin all through this feud, he hasn't been booed.
You can't use his Mania victory because he was still riding the wave of his return. Okay, but even more recently... In that brief moment, he was still kind of, we're not going to be Roman Reigns because he's made his return, he's healthy.
Fine, agreed.
In that category.
But even more recently with his feud with King Corbin and Ziggler and Rude, I don't think he's been getting booed. I don't think that whole Rena Cena effect has happened yet. I think it's only just when you think about the idea of him going up against the Fiend and winning the title that you have a bad taste in your mouth. But is there anyone really complaining about Reigns on SmackDown?
I mean, not honestly, I wanted Reigns on SmackDown. I was the one that...
Him on SmackDown's cool.
On SmackDown. But then I haven't got... See, like I said, I don't dislike Roman Reigns. It's just in the Rumble, in this particular case. But then I was like, when Corbin's music hit. Corbin came out first, right? Or did Reigns come out first?
Reigns came out first because Corbin knocked him... No, Reigns attacked him when he was on the little...
Oh, right. But then in the same breath, it's like for me, it's like that double duty thing. Because I hate when people have a match at the Rumble, but then they're also in the Rumble. I feel like that takes the spot away from two other people. Fair enough, I know Roman Reigns and Corbin are people that rank enough to be in the Rumble, but
then don't have the match then.
Yeah, because they had the match at the Rumble already. It's a bit like, well, that's a spot that could go to two other people who weren't
on the show at all.
Yeah.
The only way that could work is when they have a match and then it's like the winner gets in the Rumble. Yeah. That's all right. Kevin and someone did that a few years ago.
Rumble.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that was WrestleMania. Sorry. Daniel Bryan is I was gonna say that was WrestleMania.
Fair enough. But yeah, you guys are actually happy with Drew McIntyre actually winning.
Of course.
Yeah,
this is the one time when I feel like for the last
He was my top two. He was either going to be. I thought he was either going to be Roman Reigns or he was going to be Drew McIntyre because McIntyre was pitched to win last year, but then obviously they chose Seth because obviously he was riding high at that time, and Drew McIntyre wasn't really booked well back then. He kept on losing against
the big guys.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad they held it, and they're doing this massive push. Apparently, thanks to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman loves Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
I don't see why you would hate him because it's just he's not a bad character.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, you're right.
Like, he's one of the ones that can kind of scam or hit all the marks that you need or all the marks to make a superstar. So it's just like I don't understand why they haven't pulled the trigger sooner. But I think we've actually discussed that on other shows.
Yes.
Let me play devil's advocate here. 3MB. How do we take Drew seriously in that sense? I get it. It's been time, but I mean, you remember Jinder Mahal, how that went, right? Technically, aside from time and what he did outside WWE, this is still. Do you know what I mean? Like in a year's time, if Heath Slater wins the Rumble, are we gonna believe that? Like, do you know what I mean?
Definitely not.
And I was a 3MB fan. I really liked 3MB. I thought they were very entertaining, but.
The Jinder Mahal thing, I couldn't take that seriously. I've said my piece about the Jinder.
I rode for Jinder Mahal.
I thought I took it seriously, but I just knew no one else did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. So you're like that 0.1% of both of y'all. But the thing was because it just all happened out of nowhere. There was no real build. There was obviously financial gain out of this. There was no reason to put it on Jinder Mahal. So that's why I didn't really buy into it. Heath Slater, he's obviously got his lane. They've rode it. Yeah, he's still there.
They're not doing nothing with him. Yeah, he's on SmackDown, and I haven't seen him.
Ever since
I didn't even know Rhino got released. I didn't even. It's like, Rhino's released.
Ever since they got disbanded, that was it. I think it was just absolutely ridiculous. So the fact that I could never ever buy Heath Slater winning the Rumble or winning a major title. That's fine.
But you probably could have said that at some point about Drew. Probably could have said
because he was. I always thought he had potential, even back in his first run when he was the chosen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But during 3MB, you must have forgotten about that. You must have deleted that idea from your head.
Yeah.
And once you go down that road, it's hard to then come back up. Fair enough, Kofi did it.
That's what I'm saying. I think the thing was with McIntyre, I think the reason I actually still had faith because I knew he had potential other than Jinder or Heath Slater. He was the one that he was just wrongfully placed in 3MB. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I was more angry at creative doing that.
Yeah.
Than with because Heath Slater is a joker. Jinder Mahal, he is a joker. That's why he's been pretty much being this jester role again after.
Yeah, they were both jokers individually before 3MB. Drew wasn't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Fine. Okay. Fine. So revelation.
That's what was happening. Yeah. So and
he left the WWE and went around I don't know around the world, but he went to different companies and really changed his physique, got his life straight. If you listen to real life documentaries with him and stuff and how he talks about how he wasn't taking his first run seriously towards the end, he was drinking.
Yeah.
He really, so hopefully they actually acknowledge that storyline wise and talk about how because you get little bits where Michael Cole during the Rumble, he said it like, he's come back to the WWE. So that could work in his favor because that is it's a beautiful story, man.
Exactly.
So I'm happy with Drew winning, completely unrelated but related. Bobby Lashley and Rusev having a backstage fight and losing their spots in the Rumble because neither of them were cleared to fight.
Yeah.
What?
Lame. Big ass Bobby Lashley, unable to compete. Okay.
Honestly,
after they both promoted eliminating each other in the Rumble. Sorry,
but
go on.
in the same breath, it's like, do we really care?
I don't. I'm because like I was fearing the worst. The fact that at the end of when they announced the men's rumble, at the end there was only 3 spots available, so there was hardly any chance of any surprises or like people that actually were worthy of it. So I'm happy that they actually came up with that excuse because really them two, what's the point of having them in there? There was no chance they were going to win. They were just going to be like I don't think they really did fit storyline wise for the rumble. So I think that was a good move of them taking
to not keeping them in.
Yeah, because it was that's to me, in my opinion, that is 2 spaces wasted.
Did you know that when Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, left the WWE before signing to AEW, WWE had it in their head that he would come back and planned on him returning in the 2020 Rumble. That was their plan. Yeah, I don't know if they were going to book him to win, but they had it set that he'll be back. We'll put him in the Rumble.
Wow,
Then he went to AEW.
They were like, well, that's done. Nah, but that would have
been a good moment. Would have been a good
moment.
They would have handled it wrong though. He probably would have been eliminated.
100%. They never liked him just because he wasn't he said it himself. He just wasn't a WWE guy, and he definitely isn't. And he's flourishing in.
I do miss the Dean Ambrose character, but I know it's not the real him.
That's what I was thinking, but then I watched. I think it was the one where Triple H won the Rumble when Roman Reigns was, even though they don't acknowledge it, but he was the one that was actually world champion, and he was at number 1, even though they say it's never been done before, dumbasses. But anyway,
they say that no one's just done it before.
No one's declared. That's what they said. That's what they're doing with this.
But the difference is the title was on the line. Lesnar's just saying, "Screw it, I'm in the Rumble."
I guess. Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because what would have happened if Lesnar won?
He would have just took the night off.
Or title versus title, maybe. I don't know.
But maybe so, yeah. But yeah, I saw that, and I just saw him in the Rumble, and I'm just like, I actually don't miss that Dean Ambrose character. It was very cartoonish
compared to A, of course.
Yeah. It was very lighthearted. I can't take it seriously, so I don't miss it.
In terms of the Shield as a whole, of the 3 in the Shield, I just never cared for Dean Ambrose. Never did.
Wow. At first, he appeared to be the leader of the Shield. He really did.
He was meant to be,
and then he just never defended that championship ever. Like he just held it for the longest time.
Some random night on Raw, and then that was it. Yeah.
It was like Seth Rollins was the high flyer, Roman Reigns was the muscle, and then it's Dean Ambrose is there.
He was this guy that was good in the camera. He was the backstage, like we had a Shield. He was the one. He was a talker. Yeah. He was a talker. Yeah.
How would we have felt if, like a little bit of a swerve, Drew chose the Fiend?
That would not get. That would not get a good pop. I wouldn't like that. I was watching our Rock Culture that someone was actually saying, imagine if they actually did a swerve and if it wouldn't get a big pop like as he would against Lesnar. I don't know. I just can't imagine that. That is something that
they planted the seeds for McIntyre and Lesnar.
Of course.
People are invested in that.
Yeah.
For them to then turn around and be like, oh no, McIntyre's going to choose the Fiend. It's like, well, okay, but where's that coming from?
Yeah, why would he do that?
They haven't even crossed paths.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be so left field. Yeah. What they're doing right now, which I definitely assume, because I think that Daniel Bryan thing is wrapped up now. But yeah, most likely they're going to go with Roman Reigns. That's more his lane. He's the one that overcomes these people that can't be beaten and stuff. And
there's literally no one else on SmackDown that could do it.
Is it? But
then I don't think if they're going to do it, I don't think Reigns will put an end to it at WrestleMania.
Do you think it will carry on to whatever the next pay-per-view is?
I think, if anything, the Fiend.
Then what was the point?
Get beaten until maybe
Then what's the point of putting him back in the main pit? You kept him away all this long just for it to bring him back and not to win it. And plus,
we don't know. He's not technically back yet.
Who?
Rome, he's not back in the main event. Is that what you're talking about?
He's not, but I'm just saying, if they actually did put him in that, just theoretically, if they did put him back in the title picture for him not to lose, for him to lose, when you kept him away all this time, even, then what is the point of building him up to, to keep him away just to put him back in just to lose again?
But then you can say that about how many times did we keep building him up to be fed to Brock Lesnar?
Yep.
But that's because he was constantly in the title picture.
How many times was Braun Strowman built up to be fed to Lesnar?
Well, that's dumb.
Braun Strowman's a different kettle of fish, man.
It's like, for Roman Reigns in this particular case, because I feel like although the Fiend is pretty much established, he's still in buildable stages. So now, if he loses, it's going to damage his.
Of course, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah,
but I think they're willing to do that because I don't think they. even though they got something good, but this is WWE. They just want to.
Can't expect too much.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They always want to strike when the cast is hot, and when they think that is run down to the ground, that's when as soon as someone beats him, that is pretty much when the Undertaker streak was broken. The aura's gone.
Yeah,
You know, as soon as someone, so that's what I'm saying. So they might as well just do that before everyone starts getting bored of the
and it
Fiend.
gets dry. Yeah,
And it gets dry. Everyone's getting tired of the red light. Which, by the way,
they stopped doing, right?
Yeah.
yes, which I was surprised at that, but I got a feeling there's a reason why they did that. But anyway, I think while before it runs to the ground, they're gonna probably the only person to give it to someone that is definitely credible enough to do it, which they've always pitched to be the face of the company. Who else better than to do it? Who else better to do it than Roman Reigns?
Well, that's my question. If it's not Reigns, just
But
out of
then-
curiosity, who on the roster is there on
But then you're
SmackDown?
saying it. Oh, I get where you guys are coming from that perspective. But then see it as the Fiend character is still based on the Bray Wyatt character kind of thing, right? And look at how long the Bray Wyatt character kept going, kept being built to lose the big matches and stuff like that. But Bray Wyatt was still he was still investable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like if Bray Wyatt's having a match, I'm invested.
Yeah.
Because I'm invested in the character, I'm invested in everything. Even though I know he's going to lose or I know I was still invested.
Yeah.
But I don't think right now is the kind of thing to take like something. So they've really kind of built the Fiend up to be like this kind of, I guess. So the fact they put a title on him now as well, it's that, like I said, I still feel like he's still buildable. If he was to lose the title and on such a big stage like WrestleMania, I feel like that's not kind of something that the Fiend can come back from straight away.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And then I feel like that kind of damages that whole character and that whole everything a lot. Especially if someone like Roman Reigns, who obviously we all know is going to like be able to do it kind of thing, or it's so typical of them to make it be him that does it. But then, yeah, just not right now. As I'm saying that, okay, if they're going to do Reigns and The Fiend at Mania, that's a match that I'd be invested in, but then it's a match that I don't think Reigns will win. He'll be fed to it first and then maybe kind of overcome it by SummerSlam or overcome it by something. Or you never know. Maybe The Fiend is one of the ones that it literally has to be that someone has to cash in on him.
Yeah,
Because there is still that option.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping Kofi and Fiend at WrestleMania. That's my
God.
yeah. or Punk and Fiend. Who knows? I don't know. But,
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But
There, yeah.
Men's Rumble, I think this is the first year since.
In a long
I can't
time.
even remember what the last good Rumble was for me.
Exactly. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like, the Men's Rumble is always something or something.
I think the last one again, I think probably was one that actually featured Edge, which was one that he won.
2009.
Yeah, that's one I
You think
can.
that was the best one?
Honestly,
The
that's
Shinsuke one was good. That was a good Rumble. We had
Good
Rey
point.
Mysterio return. Like,
Good
it was a
point,
good Rumble.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, you're right.
2017 was a good one.
Yeah.
Then 2018 was a bit meh.
yeah.
And then this
2019.
2019
No,
was-
2018 was Shinsuke.
Oh yeah, oops.
2019 was Seth. I still
Yeah,
I
that's
still
the
haven't
one.
seen
Yeah,
that in
yeah.
full.
Yeah.
Wait, who's before Shinsuke? Roman Reigns, right? No.
No, Randy Orton.
Ah, yes.
I have no
I
recollection.
was as happy with that one just because Roman Reigns didn't win. So yeah,
Randy
and that's
Orton won
when
that.
Randy Orton won and he faced Bray Wyatt with the projection.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
I just want Drew and Lesnar to be the last match on the card.
But see,
Yes, most likely.
This is my thing.
Yes.
WrestleMania politics. The last match on the card is never good.
That's because
for the last what's it called? Since WrestleMania
it's been WrestleMania is 6 hours, 16 hours long.
WrestleMania 30. Okay, WrestleMania 30 was triple threat match. WrestleMania 31 was Roman Reigns.
The triple threat match was good, no?
Yeah, that
Daniel
was
Bryan, Batista, and Orton.
Yeah.
Huh?
That was good.
Yeah, when Danny Bryan won. Oh, come on.
Kind of like,
Moving on. Okay, Brock and Reigns.
That was
No one
okay.
liked that anyway, but
But
then
the twist
Seth,
was better. Saved it.
twist was good, but some people weren't happy with
was that
it.
the one that wait, hold on.
Seth.
Seth Rollins cashed in.
That was 31.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So some people were happy with it, some people weren't. But
And then by 32 it was when it was all downhill. From,
Reigns
it was
the next 3 years in a row, right?
Yeah, Reigns and Triple H. And then
Reigns
it
and
was
Undertaker.
Reigns and, yeah.
Reigns and
Reigns and Brock Lesnar again.
yes,
Yes,
where
Reigns
Lesnar won.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it started becoming a Seth show. Seth had am I making up?
Seth hasn't made event at Mania.
No. Seth, remember, his match was first.
Yeah.
What about him and
That's-
Triple H? Where Stephanie went through the table.
That was in the middle.
mid card.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the main
The main
event.
event that year was Roman Reigns Undertaker.
Yeah.
yes, yeah, which was a random spot for that match. I get it, Undertaker and him
Obviously,
retiring,
it was
but like
exactly,
it was a bad match, man.
It was bad. I fell asleep.
The last match has never been like a kind of. So for me, the last kind of really good WrestleMania main event was Edge and Undertaker.
Okay.
That was my last like good.
That was a very good main event.
Because Triple H Orton afterwards was the snort fest and whatnot. Like no one cared
Yes,
about that one.
I hated
That
that.
was
one.
unfortunate.
And then I think it was Shawn Michaels Undertaker number 2 or whatever it was. But then that one didn't live up to the first one in my opinion.
Second one was good.
Yeah, second one was good, but you're right. It
But
didn't feel it was as good as the first one. Yeah.
So it was kind of like it didn't just
Yeah.
And I can't. What was main event after that? John Cena, The Miz.
Oh God. Anyway, yeah.
WrestleMania in terms of their main events is.
What was the WrestleMania before? So last was the women's.
Yes.
Before that, what? So that's 30.
That was Reigns and Lesnar.
Reigns and Lesnar.
Oh yes, yeah. Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I agree with
But
you
I think the
100%.
fact that Drew McIntyre is going to be in the main event, is going to fight for a title that he never, even back from his first one.
We'll
he
say
never-
a main event match.
Yeah, it might not be the last.
slot, but it's a main event match.
I think because it's Lesnar and they owe it to him because he came out first last year. I think they're going to give it to him because obviously it's a big money match.
I thought Lesnar
But
wanted
they
to come out
probably give
first.
it to the women again.
That's the impression I got. I thought it was a last minute change.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah,
So
but
they owe him.
but you know what I mean. I don't know. I think they're probably going to make that one. And it's probably that, and they're going to make Charlotte versus.
Oh, for flip's sake!
That's that's going to be the co-main. They're going to.
Can we talk about the women's rumble
Yeah, we
now?
will. All right.
Because-
So right. Let's just run through the other matches because So let's just start from the match from the beginning. So Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. Who saw that match? Let's quickly run through that.
I
No.
saw that match.
Okay. Did you see it?
I watched it. It was on in the background.
I saw
It was an absolute.
So
Yeah.
I saw like was it 2 Samoan drops for a table and I guess was there a porta potty or something like that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the ending was pretty cool. Like that. The surface that they were on with the spear, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It was just
In
a
the
very
dugout.
it was a very good visual.
was it?
It was like a long set of boxes, like a table.
You know, like
setting.
in baseball matches where they go into the little dugout where they hold in where they just sit there until they get called up.
Yeah.
So basically, they were on the roof of that, and then all the Reigns did they were both on there, and he just speared him, and then it was a 1, 2, 3. He didn't spear him through the dugout.
It was just a good visual
good
because it was
visual.
like you'd never seen that, and you had the crowd right behind them. It just
Yeah.
looked, and the camera shot, whoever was taking that shot, excellent camera work.
okay.
So it was good visual, but yeah, I admittedly I didn't watch the match. Wrong of me because I had no reason to not watch the match, but I just didn't.
I was traveling back. I was traveling to my car at that point, finishing work. So I had
You
no
did
reason-
miss much.
I had no reason to miss that match.
Next match, we're doing it in order, right?
Yeah, we're
So
doing
what
it
was
in
the
order.
next
So
match?
The next match was the Women's Rumble.
Oh no, do that one last.
Okay, skip the Rumble.
Okay,
What was the
fine.
next
so,
one?
so the next match was Bailey versus Lacey Evans. I didn't bother with that.
Again, it was kind of like the Corbin and Reigns. It was on, but I wasn't.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
know,
So I don't rate Lacey Evans. I'm
So
sorry.
I watched this match, and unfortunately, although I rock for the women and whatnot, this match I said could have just been on SmackDown. Like this match didn't do anything to any of the superstars. It just kind of highlighted how green Lacey Evans is.
How green? Like, how long does she have to be green? She's been on the main roster for over a year now.
You still think based on that match? You still think she's not good?
Yeah,
I just-
that match didn't. It's like a thing where you could see that it really was like Bailey was carrying the match.
But Bailey didn't do anything epic either.
That's the thing. Bailey's not the kind of person that like she doesn't really bring a lot to a match. So
And
for
that's
her
a
to be
shame.
For her to be the one that's carrying the match, it's like, okay then, so where is this match going? So I said, although the title was on the line, I felt like this match really could have just happened on SmackDown and been fine with it. Because it did nothing for either superstar. It didn't put Bailey over. It didn't bring up Lacey Evans. It just happened.
It was almost like
it just happened.
Yeah, it was
It was
almost
a
a
tournament
feud
match.
for no. For
Yeah.
it just amounted to nothing. But storyline wise, look, if we're looking at it politically and tradition and not tradition, but just who's good, who's bad. Yeah, no one wants to see Lacey become the champion. But storyline wise, in terms of good guy, bad guy, and what the content was of that story, the storybook ending would have been Lacey winning because it's basically anti-bullying storyline. Ultimately, like Bailey and Sasha going at Lacey and her kids, and they brought it over to social media. It would have made sense for Lacey to overcome all that. So for her to get run through, if Bailey was a dominant champion and was going on to do bigger things, then that victory makes sense. But because Bailey's title run hasn't been epic,
Yes.
and any of her title runs since she's won any title has never really been amazing, unfortunately. And this whole new look, new theme song was a door opening, a potential for her to be something huge.
Yeah.
And it was huge for like a week.
Yeah, it was huge for a week. But even she said it herself.
She's not rating it.
Yeah, she's it's not because like it's creative or anything. She just can't engage with the character herself. She just can't, she still got that.
The potential's there because she can play a heel. She can play a heel.
She just can't channel it for some weird reason. So
and and Sasha by her side makes it like they're a good. Yeah. It's almost like the Fire and Desire kind of thing, or the Iconics, where you've got two women teaming up together who are bad. Do you know what I mean? Like that work, but they ain't shot the gun. And then where you've got Becky and Charlotte on Raw, they're always going to play second fiddle to them. No matter what they do, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
Which is why they probably should split Charlotte and Becky up and put one of them.
Honestly, when you had Becky and Sasha on Raw and Charlotte and Bayley on SmackDown,
still the same thing.
They still played second fiddle to Becky and Charlotte. It's just whoever's with Becky is always going to play second fiddle to that. So it just happens that because Charlotte is larger than life and Becky is, and they're both on Raw, it just seems like Bayley and Sasha are going to play second fiddle. But no, because when Charlotte was on SmackDown and Bayley was on SmackDown, they were still second to what was going on Raw.
However, I will say I think the Becky Asuka thing, as great as that could be, I don't think it was down our throats like all her other feuds. So I think it came down a bit.
But see, my thing is, okay, we just that match now. Can we go into that match?
Which one? What?
Becky and Asuka.
All right, let's go on. Yeah.
So with this match or with this feud, I honestly feel like this was the thing where they built it as this had the potential to go to Mania, in my opinion. Because they built it that Becky Lynch basically only signed her contract to be renewed because she has the debt to collect because she needs to beat us.
No, she put it on hold. She didn't even sign. She put her contract negotiations on hold.
Because she wanted to beat us first or whatever. So basically, she's made it kind of seem like, okay, this is a feat that she has to do. But Becky Lynch, given her past, she's always like that one where, like the underdog character, kind of like John Cena, like the underdog, but is not really underdog, So the whole thing is, okay, then so she needs to chase that victory. So I said at the Rumble it should have been a typical green mist or DQ because Asuka is going through the thing of she may have lost the match but she wasn't beaten. So therefore Becky Lynch, she still hasn't done it. So there was a thing where now when you get to Elimination Chamber or whatever, Becky Lynch, she could say she's still trying to chase Asuka, but at the end of the day she's got to go through the chamber match or whatever. She's got to clear that. She wins that. And then I said that on the what's it called? On the same card you have what's it called? The women's tag matches have been or whatever, the tag titles. And then I said that you make Becky Lynch cost them the titles, so now Asuka has a bigger beef. There was plenty of time for that if they dragged it. And then at Fastlane, if you're going to give them their rematch or whatever, but then it's still in that rematch, you don't have a definitive ending because Asuka doesn't want to do it, and then now you give them that definitive match at Mania. And I said that at Mania, Asuka go over. You have to remind people who Asuka is. Yeah, because they let her flounder in the mid card for the women for like too long and whatnot, and she's always playing second fiddle to the four women and whatnot. So it's kind of like, build Asuka up or build that match up to Mania, and then you give Asuka the win because she's the one that dethrones Becky Lynch's year reign, innit? So I will say to that, time-wise, the idea works. There's enough time to do all of that. But I think the way WWE has been for the past 10 years and what we're accustomed to, right? I think that would be considered dragging and we would have got bored of it. It's kind of similar to... Anything Becky Lynch does, no one gets bored of it. When Becky was feuding for Charlotte for the longest time, it got boring. Yeah, you know what I mean? It got boring because we had seen the match done too long because Becky and Charlotte were still feuding before the man changing it. They were, but I don't think people put the dots together. I think the man and Charlotte feuding got boring. And I'll use AJ and Shinsuke as an example. That was supposed to be epic. Yeah. We got bored of it. Yeah. But we got bored of that. Becky and Asuka all the way up until WrestleMania, and she's still in the tag team division as well. I don't think the typical audience of WWE today have that attention span. I don't think, no offense, but I don't. I think they could have done that. But then anyway, the match itself.
Plus, long-term booking is absolute guard. Like that's blah, 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 to WWE as well. So,
but I do honestly think though that considering the position of this match, I was surprised at how well it did or how good it was. Yeah,
it was hard hitting. I was pissed that that Becky Lynch won because I was looking at simply because like they could have even done because Asuka, well, she did. She was currently undefeated at the Royal Rumble. She had three wins. So they could have easily done a storyline where Becky... Yeah, she has 3 wins beforehand.
So,
one of them being the Rumble.
So one was the Rumble.
Yeah.
One is against Becky Lynch. What was the one before that?
I can't remember. I just saw the stats and it said 3-0. I can't remember the last one. Maybe, I don't know. She had 3. She's had 3 wins apparently.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong actually.
We know it's true.
But either way, yeah, it was. She was undefeated, so they could have easily done a thing where she just can't beat her, and like Becky was so adamant for her to beat her at the Rumble, but for some reason she can't beat her at this particular pay-per-view. So she could have easily either maybe just get disqualified or win the title at Rumble, and then I don't know, somehow get it back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they could have easily done that, but the fact that they especially when you see the segments on Raw and stuff where Becky Lynch was legitimately afraid. She was starting to fear Asuka because of the green mist, and she's got Kairi Sane next to her, and they didn't win that TLC with Charlotte Flair, all this kind of stuff.
Great match.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great match. Unfortunate for Kairi Sane, but yeah. They could have easily done that where she's just unbeatable and start bringing that old Asuka back, because obviously that aura about Asuka is completely just disintegrated. So they could have done that, but yeah, instead it was just, even though it was a good match, and I like the counter where she was about to do the green mist and then Becky kicked her up and that was good. But yeah, it was.
She tapped out very quickly though.
Exactly. I just didn't. I just made her look weak again.
Yeah, tapped out.
And now I don't know what's gonna happen now. And yeah, might get Charlotte versus Becky, number 15. But or maybe not, which we'll get into in a bit. But yeah,
I think if Charlotte's not gonna face Becky, then we're gonna have to see a title change before Mania. For whoever she's gonna face, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, she can't go to Mania and face Bayley. That would be a snooze fest.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. Yeah. So Becky Lynch versus Asuka, that was all right. I didn't like the ending. Obviously, everyone has their reservations about that. Let's move on to the Fiend versus Daniel Bryan. Now, guess what? No red lighting.
Right, that was shocking.
That was shocking. But I got a feeling the reason I was saying that there was a reason behind that is because obviously it was a strap match, and you know how WWE wants you to see certain imagery, and you wanted to see the whelps on Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
Wow,
so you can't really see it.
I watched that. I thought it was no disqualification. I thought it was a random weapon. I forgot it was a strap match.
It's a strap match.
They weren't tied to the turnbuckles though.
No. That's a cowbell match. That's a cowbell match. I think that's what you're thinking of. And the one
matches are tied to each other. Tied to each other.
Yeah.
And were they?
Yeah, they were.
That's what the belt was.
Yeah, I remember.
You think of the cowbell with Eddie Guerrero and JBL.
No, but JTG and Shad had that kind of match where they were tied together. Yeah,
the last ones do have a strap match.
Yeah, I think that's what. Ryan said that as well. But yeah, this one was in the background for me. I didn't really care for I knew who was going to win. So as soon as when I find out that it's logical who's going to win, I kind of zone out, and because it's the Fiend, it would make me even zone out more because it's this unstoppable guy, and
Would you have been happy with Bryan winning? Or would that have vexed you at the Fiend's expense?
Yeah.
Yes. I think that would have vexed me.
Piggybacking off of what he said though, like legit, I knew the match was going to happen, so I wasn't okay. Again, as we said this before, I'm not really heavily invested in Daniel Bryan. I need to care about a match. I have to be invested in at least one superstar. And so it's like, fair enough, I'm invested in the Fiend, but I don't really care for Daniel Bryan, so I don't really care for this match. But then there was one moment, I think it was the first running knee, and when the crowd really got behind it, I was like, oh, okay, then so maybe I should pay attention to this match. and the match actually kind of got good from then.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay then. So the crowd in Houston, you got me invested in this match. Well done.
Houston, a lively crowd. Huge shout out to you, man. You made that show, man. Definitely.
Yeah, it was a good match. I'm happy there was no red lighting. Mm-hmm. You said it was the first time. The last Fiend match didn't have a red light, but
the first one, yeah.
No, I'm thinking of Miz, but it wasn't the Fiend. It was
Finn Balor.
No, Daniel Bryan.
No.
Bray Wyatt.
Him and the Miz. He was. So there was no red light.
Sweatshirt Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
Screw the red light. We don't need that at all. I think this was a no-brainer match. Fiend was going over. Kind of hurts Daniel Bryan to keep on losing, but
I don't think it does. Not for him.
It's Daniel Bryan.
It is Daniel Bryan, but if we're thinking logically, how are we supposed to? It's just he's lost continuously. This is like Braun Strowman losing. Like, you know what I mean? Constant.
No, but Daniel Bryan only lost continuously against the Fiend. Fair enough, he lost against Adam Cole, but he's outside of this storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then that was just a big match feel, and it was for the NXT title, blah blah. But then in terms of his feud with the Fiend, I don't think it's hurting him to lose because it's simply just aiding building the Fiend because Daniel Bryan's established.
Yeah,
fair enough. You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fair enough. And so we move on to the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yay. My match of the night.
Oh wow.
Okay, so it wasn't the match of the night.
This one's very divisive, I must say.
It was not.
Hell no, come on.
Listen.
The match of the night, okay?
Nigga, please.
It was not the match of the night. It was not. It was not.
You think you know me?
Listen,
really? Okay,
listen. Look, I will start with the
Lay the
positive.
foundation, lay the foundation,
Okay,
man.
positive points. Bianca Belair,
Hell yes.
Oh yes.
epic. Naomi, epic.
Yeah.
Actually, let me stop on that Naomi point. I tweeted this the other day. For years, the whole thing about like when Kofi's stuck like 2 miles away from the ring and how's he gonna get back? All these years, I've never thought this. Why can't they just hop? You have to have 2 feet on the ring.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just hop?
Yeah, you're
Technically, that like we're all like, oh my god, how's he gonna get?
Because Kofi did that in the year that he
No,
fell
he
over.
hopped on the chair.
Yeah, he helped
there's a year that he fell over.
Yeah.
1 foot hit, but then they put his foot on the pancakes.
Yeah, pancakes.
Yes, but
wow.
they're acting as if neither of his feet can touch the floor.
That's what I'm
But
saying. It needs to be
he could
both
just
feet.
hop.
Yeah, exactly. You could easily just hop and then
That
roll
one
in.
where
You're
Rusev
right.
was
But
banging
it's
him.
It's not as flashy, innit? So
Fuck it.
Yeah, but they act like, how's he gonna get over? Hop, like. So, because it just hit me when Naomi was there. I don't know why when Kofi did it, I never thought. But when Naomi, I was like, so what's she doing? And she stood there for the longest time
I know.
thinking,
It's just like-
oh, after about 10 minutes, let me just move this thing here, go back into the ring, and then get eliminated. It just vexed me so much. But prior to that point, she was epic. Bianca Belair was epic. # Black Girl Magic. I'm not gonna lie. There was a few spots. It was
Mighty
good to
Molly.
see Mighty. I was just gonna say Mighty Molly was cool. There was some other old school people that came back. No,
Beth Phoenix, obviously.
Yes. Oh, bad.
She was
B.
MVP of
Bad B. Like
Exactly, man.
I didn't even clock the injury. So at first I
Yeah.
thought it was like die or
Exactly.
something. Because I was like, oh, that looks cool. Like you know, what I mean?
And why is it
Like,
bigger?
getting worse.
yeah, MVP. Like she smashed
It's
it.
again, it's like she never left, and because obviously I saw that thumbnail before, and so I kind of knew what Edward Edwards was coming out. I thought he was in the back of my head. The fact that she was in it, obviously, I was just like, okay, yes, it's like obviously it makes sense because obviously that's his wife, and you know.
Yeah, it was cool. They both had a good evening, man. That was a pretty sick date night, right? So, there was some interesting points. I mean, earlier in the night, there was an interview with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and Sonya
babe.
literally said
Mandy Rose,
that,
man.
like, you know, they
Sonya's still bae. What the hell?
look,
Mandy Rose
one day,
is
Sonya
right.
Deville is gonna be the face of the women's division.
That's fair
I'm putting
enough.
out.
She's like an underdog, a wild card. I
But-
really think that she has potential to do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Face of the company, face of the women's division. But anyway, look. So an interviewer asked them. She was basically trying to play that role where it's like, oh, what are you gonna do if it comes down to 2 of you?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
before she even finished, Sonya just was basically like, if that happens, it's not gonna be an issue. I'm gonna eliminate myself.
Yeah.
None of that even amounted to nothing in the match because
Yeah.
it was just a dead elimination. So I was just like,
It was
A
what
double
are you
elimination.
doing here?
It was a thing that can, because I think on SmackDown right now the whole thing is that Mandy is
With
messing
Otis.
with Otis, or
is-
kind of just they're just like teasing of Otis, but then it's like Sonya Deville. I think she's feeling away about that.
Of course she is.
So the idea was that, okay, then so she's gonna do that at the Rumble. Okay, this is what I'm getting from this. That she's gonna eliminate herself at the Rumble as a way to kind of be
Loyal.
to Mandy kind of thing.
But she didn't even do that.
But then but in the Rumble it was a thing where so when Mandy first got eliminated, she landed on Otis. That
Yep.
was good. I
Yeah.
did like that swap. And then when she
Yeah.
got eliminated the second time, Otis caught her.
Yep.
But then the idea was that she got eliminated because Sonya hit her.
Yeah, she bumped into it and it was double elimination.
I actually thought that was a botch. I thought he was supposed to. It looked like it wasn't supposed to happen.
No, it didn't.
Like-
he caught Mandy. And
Yeah, but-
Sonya had eliminated her
Yeah.
technically. But then at that point,
So now-
Sonya got eliminated. But then he couldn't.
Yeah.
Both of them. So that's
So
when
now
they got eliminated.
Mandy's gonna blame Sonya for actually getting eliminated, and then
so
that's when they're gonna be a
more-
two-attack team.
More development in that
Ooh.
respect.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the way I saw it.
But because of the alliance to Otis, I feel like Mandy's gonna be the face.
Oh yeah,
Technically, Sonya in that situation, Sonya is not the bad guy.
No man is going to go a bit further than Sonya. That's
Trish Stratus 2.0, 3.0.
Vince loves Mandy. Simple as. It's just the way it is. So obviously, logically, it should be Sonya because she's the advocate for she'll be a good person for LGBT and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but they don't care about. They're just
only when they want to. That's the thing.
Yeah, when it gives that moolah.
Exactly.
But anyway, I thought there were a few moments where there were a few fillers, and I guess we have to get used to the fact that Rumbles just have fillers now. But usually when there's a filler, sometimes there's a reason, like it's a comedic act or something. But there was that, but there were some fillers who is almost like Lesnar was in the ring again. Like some people from NXT came and got eliminated like a minute later. It was just like, what was your moment here? Really, what can you go back and say? How your night went? Do you know what I mean? And I didn't understand that.
My thing is that the crowd was hot for the Women's Rumble as well.
Yeah, it was hot.
That Tamina returned and she got a pop.
But they buoyed her off. They buoyed her off like they buoyed MVP. Absolutely not. How you gonna come back after like that?
It happens every time with Tamina. She does not last long in the Rumble.
Ain't nobody meaner than Tamina. No, you just
every year.
It's just
and everything, and then my girl Dana Brooke, bless her. The only Dana Brooke and Xia the only two people that came out with to zero reaction.
Oh yeah, Xia Li. Yeah, she's good. She's very good if you watch her on NXT.
I'm not disputing that, but it's just for me, I feel sorry for people that get no reaction.
Yeah, of course.
And considering Dana Brooke came out, and it was just like the crowd was just silent. I'm like, oh,
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I didn't like the you guys. I already can tell the future. You're going to disagree with me, but I didn't like that Shayna Baszler was like one of the top people in the Rumble. Like, I get it, she's a beast on NXT and she's probably making her way to the main roster, but again, I didn't think it's fair that she surpassed other people that could have had that spot. There could have been other people in the final 2, final 4, whatever.
Are you saying that because you haven't seen much of what she's done, or you?
Do you know what? I'm aware of what she's done. Admittedly, yes, I don't watch NXT like you guys do. But regardless, you're in NXT. I get it, the whole we're equal brands now and stuff. But I mean, you look at who's on Raw, you look at who's on SmackDown, and look at who was in that Rumble and how they got eliminated. And then Shayna Baszler is there. And then you add the facts, which is my main point, the eventual winner. Nah, it's
that was
no.
my thing,
It's like.
No, I'm just saying, before we get to who won, I think one spot that got freaking wasted.
Yep.
You know I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah. No, that was a disrespect to the entire division.
Absolutely.
It was kind of similar to the heat James Ellsworth got in the Money in the Bank match.
Yes.
Although I thought that was funny, but most people didn't like a man was involved in the very first one. And
that was meant to be closure for that little set when Beth and Santino was. But
dead.
No.
Dead.
No. They didn't really do anything.
It would have been dead regardless of what they did, but. For him to then eliminate himself, it's just like that was. There's a woman on the division who sat at home and watched that, or sat backstage and watched that.
It's just like, wait, what?
I mean, there was rumblings. I did hear that Santino was good. They called Ren Santino to come in, but everyone was fearing what if he's going to show up as Santino? And I was like, no, they can't do that. They're giving the women's division enough respect. He was during the Divas era, and there's no way they're going to do that. But they freaking did it anyway.
I'm sure women were not. I'm sure. Can you imagine Becky, Charlotte? They would have been vexed with that.
Of course.
Considering what they've done.
Of course.
Santino coming back would have been huge. That would have been an amazing thing.
I was hoping, if anything, if when I saw Santino, I was expecting him to do that 1 second elimination thing again. That's what I was held. So he holds two records. I would have accepted that as well. That would have been fine.
That would have been fine.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who was coming out when I heard that. Oh, Billy and Chuck. I was like, I was so confused. Rico, legend. I'm not happy with. I don't know. The final 2 was a bit meh for me, and then because at that point it's either one or the other that's winning.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have been happy with either one. I get it. Okay. No, do you know what? I would have accepted it. But I would have rather have seen others.
I would have been.
I would have rather seen.
I know
others,
they were going to give it to Charlotte because, it was inevitable they were going to give it to Charlotte because it's Charlotte.
No, but
that's how they do it because Charlotte is meant
last
to be.
Last year, she just literally got inserted into the main event. Vince literally openly broke the fourth wall and said,
"That's what I'm saying.
Charlotte is the star. We're going to put her in the main event." Right. And now she wins the Rumble.
I know, yeah.
And it's just
She was gonna get it some point.
And now we either are gonna have Charlotte and Becky again, Charlotte and Bayley again.
Hold on. There may be a swerve.
Yeah, go on.
She might actually go for the NXT Championship. That'll be the first to put them in the mainstream. Her against Rhea Ripley.
I thought it was going to be her against Bianca Belair because they had the rumblings in the Rumble.
Yeah, but Rhea Ripley just got the titles. There's no way.
She just got the title. Who cares?
Oh my God.
Bianca Belair is still she's still the one that kind of the NXT title seems to keep eluding her. She's had like what?
That's what I'm saying.
3 shots and whatnot. So it would make sense for now to pull the trigger to actually give it to Belair at the expense of Rhea Ripley. Like,
I think she's still.
That's a very short time for her to win the title and then go into a feud with Charlotte.
Bro.
That's too rushed.
They planted the seeds for Charlotte and Belair because they had.
No, what? Because they stared each other in the Rumble. Like,
And then
no.
the whole thing was that Bianca tried to eliminate Charlotte, but then inevitably Charlotte eliminated Belair. So that's just the whole thing of now the seeds have been planted. It's just a feud. And then it's like if
I don't think it's that deep.
You give Belair her celebration of okay, she's won the title at whenever the takeover is going to be, and then that thing is that okay, Charlotte's like, well, she wants to reign on that parade.
Yeah, unfortunately, she might be obviously being like it's alluded to her, but in terms of popularity, Rhea Ripley is a bit more over than Belair. Yeah, and so it just makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone's here for Belair.
And if you're gonna base, if you're gonna base it,
sorry to cut you off, but I mean and plus obviously a majority of those people that were fans there. Obviously, the hardcore people, the casual fans, more know about Rhea Ripley than they do about Belair. So that's why I'm saying it's more likely that they're gonna go. Yeah,
I'll say 2 things. I don't think when she first came out there was a huge ovation for her. I think she earned that over time in the Rumble.
Because
she was the Iron Man of that Rumble.
But listen to her pop at the beginning.
Maybe I missed it.
Got a big pop with Alexa Bliss. Come on now.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss come out.
This is worn down.
The second thing, you know what? We'll talk about Alexa Bliss. But the second thing I will say is, if you are gonna go on your logic and base Charlotte's next feud on the Rumble, then it would be her and Shayna Baszler. Basically. Actually, look, I actually don't care. I actually don't care. I'm not even sorry. So if you're going on that logic, it would make sense for her to win her title back. And then go on to face Charlotte.
But then Baszler's meant to be feuding with Becky Lynch, so
I don't want to see that.
That's what I'm saying. That's because obviously
I don't want to see that. I'd rather see
you rather see Charlotte versus Becky.
I want Ronda Rousey to come back and face Becky Lynch. That's the flip that I want to happen, man. What the hell is it?
Well, you can't get Ronda Rousey, but you can get second best. You can get Shayna Baszler.
I thought she'd be in the Rumble. I really thought she was going to be in the Rumble.
I was hoping for
I did, but then when I saw that Shayna Baszler went over the ropes and her feet hit the floor, I was like, oh my god, Charlotte's won.
Yeah, I was pissed. I was picking Charlotte Shayna Baszler to win. And then I thought that was going to be her and Becky, and then that would be the co-main event. Or maybe the main event. I don't think
we don't need to see women main event again.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that.
I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like sexist or anything.
No,
I'm not saying that we've seen the last of them main event in Mania. They can do it again. Yeah. At some point, but we don't. Let it be organic. Don't just force it. Hey, women. Yeah.
Like I said, this year it could be a thing where when you're going towards Mania, the only reason why they main evented last year was because it was gonna be a first, and because it was a thing where on the shows the women were the hottest thing.
No, I disagree. They were hot, but they weren't the hottest thing.
Invested in that feud.
Who was the feuds going on at that time? So we had Seth and Lesnar, Kofi. You telling me Kofi and Daniel Bryan couldn't have main evented that show?
It could have, but then it wouldn't have gotten the treatment it got had it been in the main event. You get what I mean?
I think it would, but if people think it wouldn't, it's only because it was literally on SmackDown. I think when you are on SmackDown, you have this mask on you.
Yeah.
If that same feud, everything down to the script was on Raw, it would have been bigger just because it's Raw. I still don't understand that logic.
It gets more viewership and all that stuff, and but you're right. Yeah, I think that would have been
a way better. Than all due respect to Ronda and the other Becky and Charlotte, it was a good match. It wasn't a main event match.
It was a bust ending.
We had a few main events prior to that.
Yeah.
By the end of the show, we'd already seen a few good matches that could have been the main event, I think. But But I digress. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Charlotte. I'm just not happy just because I just don't like the fact that it's the Charlotte show. Everything you were saying about Reigns and Cena, I feel that about Charlotte. Yeah, and the thing is, I feel that about Charlotte even when she's heel. You shouldn't feel like that for the heel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to see it. Like, I don't.
So this is the thing. So I had this discussion I say discussion, but like, so wrestling fans, when you speak to them online or on social media, they are the ones that just kind of come to your neck for whatever reason. And Charlotte's little beehive or whatever, they like, are just they gun for you kind of thing. So my thing is that someone posted like a thing of like the matches to happen in the year that like no one talks about, but they were really good, and they were like, oh, they're going to talk about the Trish and Charlotte at SummerSlam. And they were like, that match gets overlooked and
underrated match, yeah.
Underrated or whatever. But then I'm like, the match is underrated because that match was just to give Charlotte a notch on her belt, but she did fuck all afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Did you go into that match thinking Charlotte was going to win? Because I thought it could have gone either way.
No, I knew that it was Trish essentially passing the torch on because Trish is always the one that's being held up there.
Yeah, it was passing the torch, yeah.
So it was like, okay, I knew that's what they were doing, giving the torch to Charlotte now.
Yeah,
fine.
But essentially afterwards, you gave her her 10th title just for her to lose it a week later. So then again, you've done nothing with her since that match. So then
this is why her win at the Rumble was random.
And this is why her win at the Rumble just comes across as you're just giving her another notch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
100%. You wouldn't have said it better. You've said it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like okay, so now she's the only notch that she hasn't got. If she hasn't got the tag team belts, which again, if she decides that she's going to go for that, I mean, it's like, oh god, here we go.
No, that's the fear about that as well. She might just change it because she might go for the tag team titles because
can you do that?
Yeah,
it's the only title she hasn't won because she's won NXT, she's won SmackDown, she's won.
You can't win the Rumble and say you're going for what? Choose the
It's WWE. They'll bend the rules.
She's choosing a championship. Either wins tag team.
Exactly.
And who's your tag team partner?
Well, that's the thing. It would probably be her storyline is her trying to find someone.
Yeah, it could be a mystery party. It could be a legend.
And then it's gonna be like a 10-year-old girl or something like that.
Like Nicole.
But then what's it called? So Charlotte is just basically the only notch that's left for her is Money in the Bank, and so if she doesn't leave Mania as champion, she's
god,
doesn't need it though. There's some superstars who don't need it.
She doesn't need any more.
She doesn't need it, but that's how much they fucking love Charlotte, man. God damn.
How many championships is she? What's her number now?
She's 10. I just said that. 10.
Yeah, they're trying to give her that 16.
Of course they are.
10-time champion, and remember she's only been on the main roster since WrestleMania 32, and she came up the year before that. So what year was that?
Remember they had that hot potato thing with her and Sasha, so that just increased it even quicker.
Listen, Big E called it. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he made a dig at her in a promo saying about how because Kofi was like, it was when they lost their tag team titles after 400 days, and it was like in order to win or have that title shot, you have to also lose a certain amount of times. And then Biggie basically said that's what Charlotte's gonna be doing, like literally. And they edited it out when they put it on YouTube. But like it was you watch that if you haven't seen that. That was funny. Sasha Banks, flip it. Apparently she wasn't cleared. Apparently I didn't know she was injured, but I really would have loved to have seen her. Again, that's she. As much as I say that I like the dynamic of her and Bayley, it works. I mean, I get annoyed by them, but they're supposed to annoy me, so it works.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like how Bayley's come back as this new persona and it's kind of falling flat already. I feel the same as Sasha's return. Sasha's return was epic.
Yeah.
They didn't utilize the whole Sasha Becky feud as well as they could have. Becky just went over and then Sasha's just
until she went to SmackDown and then
I think it's because they're doing that thing where they're kind of making her seem like she's too good for it because her persona right now is that they have to pay her to be on SmackDown and they have to pay her a certain amount. She's like that kind of. They made her that girl now.
Yeah,
so
but
kind of take the boss literally in that respect, and this is the new layer of her. So it's like a thing of she doesn't compete unless she either wants to or she's been paid enough to do so. And then the fact that she's going through the Alexa Bliss thing right now, getting injured every 2 seconds, it's like But I don't know if I think the one that was on the show was a storyline injury, but then I think she genuinely.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, I follow it. You're right. It's just storyline. It's just a bit of a letdown. And then when you look at the politics of the reality of why she left in the first place, you're kind of doing the same thing that vexed her in the first place.
Yeah.
It's like when they bring these stars back after controversy, and then just do the same thing again. And they do this with a few people now, and it's just like, where are you going? As boring as Bayley as champion has been, and her going to the main event of WrestleMania would have been a bit. I would have been here for Bayley and Sasha at Mania.
Okay, yeah.
But that is the penciled plan.
If it is,
if it happens,
if it is,
see what happens.
Do you know what I mean?
Everything is subject to change from here to Mania.
Technically, the story is just a matter of because this is another thing that I really dislike about the Rumble is that I really hate that the Rumble it sets the precedent for WrestleMania, but then people forget that there's like, well, now there's going to be about 4 or 5 pay-per-views between now and Mania, or whatever. Because even
Including the Saudi Arabian match shows.
Oh, bloody hell.
Showdown's happening in like February
28th.
And then
Jesus,
it's like
God.
Got Fastlane, you got Elimination Chamber,
Apparently, Fastlane has not been announced yet. So far, it's just Elimination Chamber.
or
and then,
Great Balls of Fire, whatever they're gonna call it this year. I don't know. I remember when it was Royal Rumble, No Way Out, Mania. That was it. Like, you know, that was
there's
it.
like all these shows in between and stuff like that. They're gonna do network specials, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Starcade or whatever you call it. Like,
So it's just like a thing of like, so there's so many things between now and WrestleMania, but then it's like, you know, with Drew McIntyre being like, oh, I'm choosing Brock Lesnar. So now it's almost a bit like anything that you see with Lesnar, although if his title's going to be on the line, it's meant to be that kind of 50-50 booking, like, oh, is he going to lose, isn't he? But you know he's going to win. And then it's like, again, so because Charlotte won, and it's like, okay, then she hasn't chosen who she's going to face yet, but then it's almost like you kind of say it as, okay, so she, rather than say what title she's going to challenge for, she's saying who she wants to face. But then you've still got 3-4 months.
And that's the thing, because of the time in between, everything is subject to change. We could see a fatal 4-way for the heavyweight championship like, by Mania. They could change that drastically.
Yeah.
Like,
But then, the thing is that if you're going to change it like that, then it's like, okay, no, so for the, it's only for the Universal, so basically every title except for the WWE title and the women's titles can change. Because WWE title is Lesnar and McIntyre.
no, that's what I'm saying to say. WWE could, I mean, they probably won't, but they could easily change it, like for whatever reason, because of someone inserts themselves.
Yeah,
Lesnar wants revenge. Paul Heyman says something. They can do literally what they want and find some kind of WWE logic to justify it.
Yeah.
That's why it's logically it would make sense. Lesnar and Drew, they could F it up. Like it's essentially what they did with Charlotte last year. They could do that. They could do something like that.
There was no need.
Lesnar might quit. Lesnar might quit and the title is vacant. I wouldn't even put that past it. He's done it before. Like it just might be something so stupid. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Everything is
you can't trust them anymore.
You can't. You definitely can't.
You know.
I've learned that for a good couple of years now. But yeah, that is our take on the Royal Rumble. A very extended take on the Royal Rumble. Overall, it was a very solid pay-per-view. Like very good start to the year. I'm not expecting them to keep this momentum because this is WWE.
It's not lying, man.
Okay, then so what would you, so as we normally do, what would you rate it?
I would rate that a solid
out of 10.
out of 10.
The match or the pay-per-view?
The pay-per-view. I would give that an 8. The two notches that minus it was obviously Reigns and Corbin, and Bailey and Lacey. Those two were the weakest out of it. But the women's rumble was cool, minus Santina, but it was fairly solid. Everyone got a decent amount of airtime. And the men's rumble, people say it was very divisive with the what Lesnar was doing, but I thought it was.
I was going to ask you, did we ask you what you think of that, the Lesnar part?
You didn't that, but it's fine. No, when it comes to Lesnar, I actually enjoyed it.
You explained it first. I think that's why we didn't ask.
Maybe
him,
so.
He explained it. He was out. People were divisive doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning.
But you were here for it.
I didn't mind it because it was quite refreshing. I mean, like, obviously, there's been a couple of people that's done it before, like Bray Wyatt when he was, eliminating people. There was obviously, I think you said CM Punk did it a couple times. But this one, I was just surprised that Lesnar actually lasted that long, and the fact that he got eliminated by someone that is on the current roster and not just someone that's trying to get a quick paycheck
Like Goldberg.
Right. Oh
God, yeah.
Cain Velasquez or Tyson Fury.
I actually thought it would have to be Goldberg to come back and eliminate him. I thought they would revamp that
again.
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
But yeah, Lesnar actually put a lot of work in, even though he was pretty much sweating by the time his entrance finished. But he put the work in. He sold. He sold very well. You'd expect a guy that's a part-timer, you wouldn't expect him to put a lot of effort into selling and the reactions and
He's
stuff.
a good seller.
But he's a people do not credit him enough in this run. Like, he may not be on TV or constantly or anything like that, but he puts the work in when there's a serious a match. And that's how you know that he's actually he wants to put these guys over. Right. You know what I'm saying? He wants to put these guys. He doesn't have to. but he does it, and it's to build a great
Don't
story.
give it all to him. He might just be doing what he's told. Like,
Maybe so. If he wants to get a quick paycheck, but then again, it's Lesnar. At this point, I'm pretty sure he can do whatever the f he wants to do, but as long as he's got Heyman by his side, because obviously he's pulling the strings backstage. So it's.
So you're rating it an 8.
I'm giving it an 8. Yeah. What about you, Rides?
I'm not gonna say much. You've kind of said everything for me. It was a good Rumble for the men's. Not happy with Charlotte winning, but I can credit the Rumble as a whole good. The whole pay-per-view was good, and I give it an 8 as well.
Okay, great. And yourself, Mr. Rhymes?
So I'm normally the harsh grader and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
I
we
think
know.
this will be the first time that I will say
Agree?
this is a unanimous.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this because you guys know if you've watched the previous things, when pay-per-views, when certain things happen, it kind of just brings everything down. Or
Yes,
whatever. But
rightfully so.
Pay-per-view, given that it's a big 4 and just the feel going into it, and then the matches themselves, I didn't feel disappointed in terms of, so the matches that I knew weren't going to be all that, weren't all that, but then the Royal Rumbles made up for that. The winner made up for that, and Edge's return made up for that. Just certain moments,
Moment of the night,
all the Rumbles, it was just overall,
Moment of the decade, and we're just in this new decade, like.
Overall, like it was just actually a really fun pay-per-view to watch, and so yeah, I give it an 8.
Can I quickly ask you guys? I know you've already kind of shared your predictions earlier, but who did you want to? So 2 questions: who did you want to win the Rumble? Men's Rumble. Or you can do both if you want. Who did you want to win, and who did you think would win? Because I always feel they're 2 different things.
See, men's one, I wasn't really following so much so the stories for the men going into it, but I did think that Roman Reigns was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is probably why when he came out, I was like, oh.
Here we go. Yeah. Roman Reigns, let's go.
So I did think he was going to win. But I'm assuming that for my want to win, that's me allowed to be like, what, fantasy bookings and stuff like that? And whatnot. Okay, I would have wanted Kofi Kingston to win.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Kofi definitely was a favourite, but I think I actually kind of put Kofi to the side and said Kevin Owens.
Really?
Yeah.
For
Just
the WWE title or for the Universal title?
whatever he decides, but it would have been cool to see him
I
win.
would
who you wanted.
What you wanted.
I'd say wanted. If I was to think,
I prefer him facing Lesnar, to be honest. But go on, sorry.
Oh, him and Lesnar would have been sweet. I actually don't think I had a I don't think I had a who do I think. Yeah, I mean, I thought that there might be certain people that would have been dominant in the Rumble. Like, I would have thought Sheamus would have been in him coming back, and he wasn't even. I didn't watch the pre. What was he? Was he facing?
He was
someone?
facing Shorty G.
Yeah, we're not gonna
Dead.
No. Moving on.
Yeah. Let's just move on. I mean, you already said your prediction, so we can move on now.
Cool. So
done.
8 out of 10.
Wait. So what did you guys think for the women's one then?
Not Charlotte.
See, I honestly thought Baszler was gonna win. I would love if oh my god, who did I say was gonna win? Who I wanted to win? I'll say so. Okay, I thought Baszler was gonna win. I wanted Sasha Banks to win, but then she wasn't even in it, so it's kind of like
Again, I don't think I had a think. I don't even think I had a want. But if I look in hindsight now, knowing that Naomi came back, it would have been cool to see her win. I've always just been a Naomi fan. I know people have you say she can't breathe properly and all that stuff, but like she's.
I'm a diehard fan. Like,
yeah, man.
I rock for Naomi.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, unanimous for the first time ever on Take It to the Table of all episodes, the 1 year anniversary. A unanimous 8 out of 10. Good solid start for WWE. I don't expect you to keep this momentum going, but very good solid start.